Hello. What's going on, Charlie? Just sitting here by myself. Just wondering if people are going to come in. If not, I'll leave. What's up, Bama? I think it's working now. People are flooding. They're flooding in. All two of you. Oh, man. So apparently Charlie's not doing anything. Or Bama. Or a group of three losers. Let's see, Barbecue Mike's in here. Are you just hanging out too, man, because you're waiting for a part for your truck? Just sitting back, chilling, relaxing. They're on a 34-hour reset. My time off in the truck stop. Oh. Leighton Motorsports, what's going on? Time to get funky. Oh, just hanging around, man. Finally, this week here in old Michigan got a little bit cooler. It was hot last week. It was terrible. If you didn't notice from the live stream from last week when we were soaking wet in Justin's garage, that was terrible, man. Stone Cold Justin frightened me. Dude, I mean, the camera didn't show it, but dude, he was up underneath that car shirtless and just had freaking grime all over him. It was so damn funny. Oh man, I left, I got home, I hopped in the shower and he told me, he goes, dude, he goes, I just took a garden hose shower with Dawn. I was like, I said, where'd you find her? He doused himself with Dawn dish soap. It was funny. I have a bad signal, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, his car's running. Somebody's is running, right? Of course, that his wife made him do it. He told me, he said, he goes, dude, he goes, when I go in the shower, it's usually black. So I don't think she made him do it. I think he preemptively done it. But yeah, was it the guy who tunes our cars on the dyno of doom, as we call it? He took off to go race his car on a half mile. And he said he'll be all the DMs and phone calls he'll get later. That's like great, because I just texted him about my 351 about getting it in there and boring it and hot tanking it. Part won't be here till Monday. So are you just chilling in your truck in like a truck stop or something? How does that work? You guys are like living the van life, man. These people on YouTube. These people on YouTube, man, get paid to do that. They get a bunch of followers. They live in their damn van. What does he race on a half mile? A stock Coyote engine with a gigantic turbo that's about 1,200 horsepower. Stock. First gen. Yes. So he's like the fastest first gen stock Coyote. No joke. Dude's got some shit. What do you do in a quarter mile? Earlier this year was in a quarter mile was an 8.2. That is living dangerous. Yeah, it's dude knows how to tune. Let's just put it that way. Everything's held together. He took it apart. He doesn't say too much about it, but let's see here. $450 more than you would put through it. Well, he's doing it, man. All I can tell you is, like I said, he's a good tuner. He's a good engine builder. Be right back. Can't find that stuff, man. Keep showing that other shit. Yeah, he was also working somebody's pit on Pikes Peak too. So can't find it. Let's see how this works. Talking about your signal. I'm surprised Sublime hasn't made his his weekly phone call asking me if I'm going live. He hasn't done that today. But 4 people gotta work tomorrow. I'm guessing yes. I put this on my Facebook. Mm. Mm. So if anybody else comes in here, they won't see that unless I replay it. In which case I could take this down and you'll never see it. What's up, Karma? Their Wi-Fi signal. So where are you at, dude? Are you like in a truck stop or what's going on? Where do you stay? What's up, Paul the Fox? Let's see. Oh, Paul saw it. Since I've been in this newer truck, I have lost over 4,000 miles in a new truck. That's crap. That's bullshit. Gotta work tomorrow so I can buy more parts for the 68. Yeah. I'm at work again. Yay. We're all at work. I work tomorrow morning. So that sucks. Yeah, I went and got that paint today. Even though I did buy, and I have it, I was going to originally just color the car, the original color of the car, which was vermilion red, but couldn't get enough of that strawberry, that wild strawberry, so I just said screw it. Now I got this can of paint I don't need. At least that one wasn't expensive. It was like, I think $40, $45. But when you get like wild strawberry, it's like $75. So, yeah. Well, I come to the Dream Cruise to hang out. I don't know. I mean, it's like, where am I going to park my friggin' truck? You know, that's what it becomes. See. Trying to get Sublime to go also. Like I said, I'm surprised Sublime hasn't made his weekly call asking me, "Are you going live?" So, Rock Springs, Wyoming at the Flying J. At least I got points for snacks. That's funny. That's hilarious, dude. That sucks, bro. So they fixing the truck there, or you gotta take it someplace else or whatever. What's up, Brailsford? It's a very nice color. Yeah, it is. Spectator drags. You know, the funny thing is when I went online to one of the like Fox groups and said, "Yo," I said, "Let's see some change." I said, "I'm thinking about spraying my car wild strawberry. Let's see some wild strawberry cars." And all these people started putting up these pictures of their car in like the dark, or in like parking light. And it was like, what the hell's wrong with these people? So you couldn't get a good look at it. And finally, a couple people put some stuff up, pictures up that were in the sunlight, and that's when I was sold. So Sublime is at McDonald's and cussing out people driving Explorers. Sounds like a crazy man. You want to ride down with us? I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, I tried taking the 19th off. The lady at work got that off. And then I don't know, man. I'm just so sick and tired of her. Like, we both get 5 weeks vacation, and she like plans her life like a year and a half in advance. And it's just by the time I get notification when events go, she's already got all these friggin' dates. I mean, I put in for that date first, and then she put in for it, and then my car's not going to be done, so I just pulled it. And then I was going to go to Foxtoberfest, and what do you know? She took that week too, but it doesn't matter much because I'm spending too much money on BS here. Really? That's interesting. They found mastodon bones here in Kent County. Interesting. Breaking news. And Rich is in here. What's going on? Oh, Charlie came back. But yeah, so my next, I haven't been to any car shows. I went to Cars and Coffee once. I went to Ford Takeover, and that's it. I haven't been anywhere else. And let's see, the 24th of September is when Adam has set up the Fox Body Meet down at the body shop again in Williamston. So the 24th of September. So I'm kind of hoping I can have my car put together by then. And then again, I hopefully the damn thing runs after I have put it together myself. So we'll see what happens, if it just starts up or goes kaboom. Yeah, it's cooled off here too. It was actually a pretty good week. It feels great. Yeah. The dew point and the humidity hasn't been around, man. I mean, when I was in the garage last week, when you saw the video Tuesday, yeah, it was it was pretty bad. I was soaking wet, man. Soaking wet working in there. '95 in Wyoming. Jeez. I didn't think it was going to be at the body shop this year, Funky. What do you Oh, you're talking about the car meet. No, it's there. It's only 85 in Houston right now. It's hot down in Texas. Oh, you guys are at the tip of the spear of hell down there, man. I tell you, it's freaking hot as hell down there. But yeah, now you got me wondering here. Oh, he does have it somewhere else. I never even paid attention to that. How about that? What's up, Sally? What's going on? You're be getting a couple of beers since you're not going anywhere, huh? Hot shit, this is chilly, he says. No car shows around here this weekend, and the weather is supposed to be perfect. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Yeah, there's cruise-ins. I could have rolled up to a cruise-in, but it's not fun. Not fun when you just roll up in your truck. Mine's nothing special. Hmm. Interesting. Just trying to figure out what that place is at. Went to Ford Takeover and newer trucks. Oh. Get into newer truck, breaks down as I break down. Father-in-law passes away, then truck breaks down again. Getting pissed. Yeah, man. 2022 sucked. It sucked, man. If the weather's good, I'll be at a car show on Sunday. I think it's supposed to rain here tomorrow pretty badly. From what I heard. Yeah. Tomorrow and Saturday. Or Saturday and Sunday, it's supposed to rain. Fun stuff. Yeah, but so nothing much to do right now. If anything, I mean, hopefully, I don't know when my heads get here, but hopefully I can. If they come, I can get them on. But other than that, I got I got to tear the rest of that 351 down. But it's still on hold right now too because, like I said, the guy who tunes my car, and he's also an engine builder. I messaged him, and then he took off to go race his car on a half mile. So yeah, that's. And if you guys, like I was saying earlier, and I showed these guys this, I'll show you guys here. Let me see if I can find it again. But yeah, the guy who tunes our cars, we call his dyno the Dyno of Doom because he's had bad luck on it. I've had bad luck on it, obviously. But he's got like a first gen Coyote. He's like one of the stock, one of the fastest stock Coyotes there is at like 1,200 horsepower, guys. Dude knows how to tune a car. So here's his car. So yeah, he's going to race half mile. Where's Kermit? I don't know. I told you, man. I told you. He didn't make his weekly phone call to me. He's MIA. He's MIA. He's like, hey, you going live? Sorry to hear about your father-in-law. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, few weeks ago, man. Yeah. Let's see. Think Sublime is at the track? Is he there complain about his car not going, or is he racing sleds? I can't take my car down the track. You know, I'll probably just get it. It'll probably go slow. We'll probably end up getting 11s. The DA is gonna suck. Hopefully those heads show up really soon. Yeah, hopefully they do, man. It's a bunch of BS. It's a bad mamma jamma. Bring that to Ford Takeover next year. Are you talking about his car? Racing sleds. Talking about Tyler. I don't know if he's into that though. I mean, he goes down. He actually had a private session at 131 Dragway a couple weeks ago. I mean, that car runs like 8.5 on that track. Karma, I will put in about those any day or any days again. But the one thing that I need to do is I need to get the inside of that damn whore put back together because it's torn apart. The dash is out and all that stuff. But I can't really put the dash in because I need to put the brake booster in and I need to paint the brake booster and I need to paint the engine bay and I can't really do that when the car's outside and black sunshine's inside. So it just right now sucks, man. Can't really do anything until that fucking black car gets out of the garage. It just stinks. I can't do that till I get my heads. I got time off confirmed for Pamfy. What's Pamfy? I have an idea, but I'm not sure what the FE is. Oh, maybe I know now. Yeah, fall edition. You ain't gonna be there. I'll believe it when I see it. Remember we had that conversation. You told me to bring that non-roller block with me. I didn't bring that non-roller block because I knew you weren't gonna make it. I said I have a feeling, but if you are coming, I can bring it. You want a set of heads with that? Because I can give you a set of heads with it. I got 4 sets. 4 sets of heads, man. 4 sets of heads. It's ridiculous. You want some 351 heads on that 302? I got those. Probably not, because I can't give this shit away. It's terrible, man. It's like those alternators. I got like 4 of them. Nobody wants them things. I got 2 in there. 3 in there. And now that one upstairs. The one I pulled off the 351 that's practically brand new, I don't really want that because it's a 75 amper. Nobody gives a crap about those things. I'm flying in, so, oh, jeez. That figures. See, I can't give crap away. It's in savagery. He said have to discuss shipping. Oh man. I don't even know how to ship any of that crap, dude. You have to put it in a crate. I don't have a crate. Shooting the hog leg again. Oh, I'm bringing that? I'm supposed to bring. I don't think I ever unloaded or shouldn't say unloaded yet. It's not loaded. I don't think I ever took it out of the case the last time. Same here. Love that thing. These fucking idiots. Especially since I can't bring any of my toys with me. Stupid airlines. There's a way you can do it. So, what you do is you ship them here. Ship them. That way, they'll be here when you get here, and then just ship them back home. See? Nobody's got to know what's inside them. You can bring guns on a plane. Yeah, it's weird though. You got to do a bunch of weird stuff, jump through some hoops. Yeah, it's you can't. It's weird. Most weird is having guns in Canada. They're going through some turmoil up there now for pretty much getting their handguns banned up there. I mean, they're fighting it right now, but I've been following that a little bit. But yeah, the way you can obtain a gun up there is kind of crazy. To us, it's crazy. To them, it's normal. But it's like if you want to buy like a rifle or anything, you have to submit some kind of purchase license and then send it in, and it takes like 6 months before they get back to you about it. And then you got to tell them why you're going to buy it. Are you buying it for hunting? Are you buying it for sport? Same thing with a handgun. If you tell them you're buying it for self-defense, they will not let you buy a gun because they don't believe that uh, they don't believe you should be able to defend yourself. Is what I was listening to a Canadian guy on YouTube talking to a guy who is part of the CCFR, I think it is, which is their civil certified firearms something or other. I can't remember, but it's like the NRA up there. So Canada sucks, eh? I don't think the Canadians don't think it's their country sucks. It's just their government's terrible. Especially when you got that tyrant who wears blackface called Trudeau. Oh, 4 Blue Gauges in here. What's going on? Frank 3 Stangs. What's happening? One thing that I do have to do is I have to tear the timing cover off my 347 that I put together for the 3rd time. And I got to retard my cam timing by 4 degrees. And guess what? Newsflash, I don't fucking know how to do that. Now, I did find out through comp cams, that there's a circle, a triangle, and a square on their timing gear. Well, on the camshaft gear. And if you put it on the 0, the circle, that's stock. But if you put it on the triangle, that's 4 retarded. 4 degrees retarded. But the cam gear's got 3 slots that you can put on the keyway, the Woodruff key on the crank. So I'm guessing, and I'm guessing this, you would put the 0, which is stock timing, on the Woodruff key, but you would line the dot from the cam gear and you would turn the crank to the triangle for 4 degrees retarded. Am I right about that? If you understand, Frank 3 Stangs, you're in here. Tell me. I don't think Ford Blue Gauge knows. I talked to him. I could be wrong. Yeah. Well, that's easy. You just reach in there and twist it back 4 degrees. Yeah. I don't need that shit. It's not true. So I'm guessing you just put the 0, you put the circle on the Woodruff key as you were doing it stock, but instead of lining that up with the dot on the cam gear, you would line the triangle up with the cam gear dot. Is that right? Comment down below. Is that what everybody says in their videos? Comment down below. Do you ever hear me say that? No. Do you ever hear me say like, share, subscribe? I did that one video. But that was that one video, you know. Yeah, he said if Ford Blue Gauge doesn't know, then it can't be known. Well, that's what it said when I looked up the directions, that the triangle is 4 degrees retarded. But it also has a slot to where you could put the Woodruff key to that triangle. But if you were to do that, you wouldn't be retarding anything. You know what I'm saying? It'd still be at stock, but you just have it on the triangle. But if you put the Woodruff key in the stock where the 0 is, and you turn the triangle to the dot on the cam, that's 4 degrees retarded. I'm thinking that's how you do it. Good luck trying to find a video on YouTube that's telling you, because nobody is. Other than that, you got this freaking degree wheel that you got to put up there that's expensive. And then I wouldn't know how to do that. So we got Salty in here now. What is going down? Yeah, because I asked Big Dogs. I said, "Hey," I said, "Now what are your suggestions on tuning? Is there any suggestions that after doing all this?" He goes, "Sure. What's your compression?" Well, Summit does it again. They suck. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that I've found a workaround on their website to navigate to what you need, but it isn't user friendly, and you got to know what to do to search stuff on their freaking website because their website sucks. But then when you do find what you need, they don't give you all the information about the product you're buying, like compression. They don't tell you. They just don't. Jegs does. Shit, even American Muscle does. And Justin just bought the same exact 347 assembly that I bought, and he found it on. I think he bought it through Summit. No, he bought it through American Muscle because it happened to be cheaper and they had it in stock. And they got on there the compression ratios, which if you look on there, 58 cc's, which mine are, I will have 11-to-1 compression on my 347. And so I told Big Dogs that, and he's like, damn. He goes, you need to retard your timing 4 degrees. He goes, I wish you would have told me that, else I'd have opened them up more. I'm like, oh, that's nice. So, yeah. What's going on, man?
Does your crank gear have 3 grooves in it?
Yes.
Okay. So now on yours, I don't know if the square or the triangle is advanced or retard.
Triangle.
But what you'll do, okay, so the triangle is the retard.
Yep.
So that groove is the groove that you put on your Woodruff key, and then that triangle you will set dot to dot. You will set the triangle as your lower dot.
If you see, that's where I don't understand. If you take the wood, if you pull the gear off where the 0 is on stock and line it up with your cam dot, if you pull that out and turn it to the put the Woodruff key on this triangle and line it up with the dot, that's still the
4
same.
degrees. No, it isn't. Okay, because if your Woodruff key is straight up and down, and
right,
your dot is straight up and down with it,
yeah,
and then and you turn it to the other one, if you look at your Woodruff key and your triangle, it's not going to be perfectly in the same exact place as the dot is. It's going to be over a little bit. That's so I don't, my cam gear has the 3 holes in it. My crank gear, I just ran out to the garage to look. My crank gear doesn't have the 3 Woodruff keys. My cam gear has 3 holes in it for the advance and the retard. So I wasn't able to bring it in to show you because it doesn't line up with yours. It's not the same as yours.
right.
Okay, so try to do this as simple as I possibly can.
He said I don't use that fancy stuff. I just line the diet dots up and set 12 and 14 degrees top dead center.
So if you look that's a shitty drawing, but it's just a quick drawing. You
You
have
know-
3 Woodruff keys in your
And you know the funny thing is, where the Woodruff key slots are, they're all different shapes.
yes. The top of it, one of them will be rounded, and the top of one will be square, and then it'll kind of look like it has a weird angle in the other one.
Yeah.
That's the one it's telling you to put on. If you want the retard, you said it's triangle, so you will put that one on your Woodruff key, and then your triangle is your new dot.
Yeah. Right. And
Yes.
And you're saying it lining up with the dot that's on the cam gear.
Yes.
But how is that retarding it if you're still straight up and down and you're pointing the triangle at the cam dot? To me,
Because
that's position.
It's not. It's because it's built into where the Woodruff key is. So what they did was, so your dot is here, and what they did was they just moved the Woodruff key over just a tiny bit, which makes it 4 degrees. 4 degrees is probably only a quarter of a tooth.
So you're saying the different shape of the Woodruff key slot is what makes the difference?
No, it's the location. So if your Woodruff key is straight up and down and your dot is straight up and down, and we move it over just a hair, that'll be your 4 degrees. 4 degrees ain't shit. 4 degrees is like 2 hairs. yank out 2 hairs out of your head. It's literally like 2 hairs. 4 degrees ain't nothing. And that's why I told you 11-1 aluminum ported heads, I'd run it. Hell, I'll throw boost on it. But I told you to do what your builders told you. But yeah, and actually, if you do you have your timing cover off?
No.
Okay. So if you was to go out there and pull your timing cover off, and you look at where your Woodruff key is, your Woodruff key is not perfectly lined up with the dot anyway. They're off a little bit anyway. And if you slide it off and turn your timing chain, or turn your lower gear to the next Woodruff key, which is the triangle, which is where you want to be, it's not going to line right back up. You're going to have to turn either the lower or the upper a little bit to get it to line up, because all it's doing is all it's really doing is it's just turning one or the other just that little bit to go that 4 degrees. Have you ever set a timing light on a crank on your timing marks and then turn your distributor from 16 to 18 degrees and watch on the timing light how much you move that distributor to go 2 degrees? You just barely nudge it.
Yeah, it's not a lot. Yeah.
No, you just go bump, bump. You almost, hell, sometimes if you go to loosen the bolt to move the distributor, it'll move 5 degrees just from loosening the bolt.
Right. Okay. I mean, I'll do that, but hopefully it's right. But
it's not much, I promise.
Because yeah, I'm just going. But I mean, I got 2 people who tune cars, both telling me the same thing. Yeah, do it 4 degrees. And I'm like, okay, I don't know how to do this, but all right. What does he say this? If you don't plan on running nitrous, use a dish piston and use a thicker gasket that will lower the compression. I don't see why I should.
He said, I lost my wrench. I must suck.
Freaking JPP.
Hello, everybody.
I believe I stopped through when you're streaming. Sounds like knowledge being dropped. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I get hyped up.
No, it's fine.
So it really isn't much. When you go to put it on, if you rotate the motor to where your dots are pointing each other, and then you take your cam bolt out and you go to slide it off, just turn your chain to where the triangle is pointing to your dot. And then when you go to slide it back on, you're just barely going to have to move anything to get it to go back on, because it's literally only going to move that Woodruff key 4 degrees. I mean, when you go to do it, you're going to be like, what the hell is this even doing? That's what I mean. When you actually see how much you have to rotate it to get it to line back up, you're gonna be like, all this for that?
And this is supposed to make space between the valve and the piston or whatever?
No, what it does is it makes the valves open. Retard and advance makes the valves open earlier or later.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And some cams you cannot do it with. Some cams, like, so rule of thumb from what I was told is if the cam is the same lift, intake and exhaust, same duration, intake, exhaust, which they say is, so you got a split lift, split duration cam, and then you got a straight cam. If it's a straight cam, they say you can go ahead and put advance and retard. But if it is, if it's, like a 542 lift with the 563 lift on the exhaust, they say not to do that because it already has all the advance and retard in the cam that it can take. That's the rule of thumb, the way it was explained to me. If it's a straight up and down cam and all the numbers are the same, intake and exhaust, you can advance it and retard it. Now, I see other people doing stuff way different. I see people putting in a cam that has 8 degrees built in, and they'll put another 4 at it. So it's, just however that specific builder wants. There's some builders out there that want to run theirs at 38 total timing, and some guys are like, hell, it makes the same amount of power at 24 total timing.
Well, from what I've seen about the 351, like convert it to a roller, all you need to do is buy the damn spider and the dog bones from like Comp and drill 3/8 of an inch, 2 holes for 3/8 of an inch, and then buy the roller lifters for it, and that's it. They don't need the special expensive ass rollers for it.
You don't. Do you still have dog bones laying around from one of your 302s?
Yeah.
Yep, there's your dog bones. Do you have a good set of lifters laying around from one of your 302s? There's your lifters.
Yeah, brand new. I just got to get the spider.
No promises, but I probably have a few of them laying around.
The only thing that sucks is where you got to put the bolts.
Right through the center of the cam journal.
Yeah. And not only that, what's right in the valley where you got to drill? That little raised spot on the freaking casting. There's like that little raised spot. You got to drill right there.
What I usually do is I just take a grinder and just grind it down flat.
Right. So I'm good there. So I just got to drill it in. And it's no big deal. I know you got 3/8 of an inch, they say, to do it, but people have drilled through it and it's not a big deal. But some people are stupid, and I've seen them drill right through their cam bearings, and it's like they were brand new cam bearings. I'm like, how stupid are you? If I was going to do that, I wouldn't want to make that mistake and have a new cam bearing in there. You know what I mean? So
what I usually do is if you're going to drill it, I recommend you drill it with the old cam bearings.
Yeah.
That way, drill it if you're going to do it, this is how I do it. When you first disassemble the engine, before you take it to the machine shop, drill it, thread it before you ever even take it. That way, when they knock out the old cam bearings, they will knock out the cam bearings, run it through the hot tank or their jet wash or their caustic tank. And and then when they're cleaning everything out, that'll get rid of all the metal shavings. And then you don't care if you drill all the way through the early cam bearings. And not only that, then you know for sure that your cam bearings got replaced.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I planned on doing. I was like, if I make a mistake, no big deal. I'm just gonna have him. See, I'm just gonna give it. I'm gonna give that block to him. Have him hot tank it and bore it out and replace my cam bearing. And that's it. Because for me to buy the damn tool and use it maybe once is not worth it to me. You know, because I've seen how they do it, and it sucks trying to put those in. And then when you get the bearings, I know there's specific spots they got to go in, and so.
Yep. So Barbecue Mike just said, what does it do by going 4 degrees? 4 degrees retard, it opens the valves earlier in the compression stroke, which will allow. So let's say you have 11.5 to 1 compression. If you open the valves earlier, it builds less compression. If you build them later, or if you advance it, it changes when they open, which makes them open later, which allows it to build more compression. So everybody's got their own ways of doing it. You put a bigger cam in it, like he said, if I would have known you was going to be at 11.5 to 1 compression, I would have opened the heads up more. As in, he would have ported them more to allow more flow out. So a great big high compression motor, if it flows really, really big, then you can get away with that pretty easily. It helps. So by retarding the cam, he's opening the valve sooner, which allows it to push air out before it's ready. So it's just, instead of 11.5 to 1 compression, he's going to make 11 to 1. Basically, is the easiest way to explain it.
Yeah, and he said by doing that, he goes, you'll give it about 30 more horsepower. So I'm like, okay, whatever that means. But he's pretty adamant about it. Freaking JPP is checking out. You're leaving already? All right, man.
Later, JPP.
I know he needs one of my engine stands.
I'm gonna eat my dinner,
Okay.
and I will come back. I'll be in the chat listening. That way, I'm not bothering you with spaghetti. Okay.
Yeah.
Or would you rather I stay up here and just close
I don't
my
give a
cam?
shit. Ain't bothering me.
All right. Well, I'm gonna eat then.
Says you can buy a dog bone kit for a 95 truck van 351. I think they're all the same. It's a roller from factory. You just need to tap the block. Yeah. Yeah, they're all the same.
No. Some of them have the bosses. His doesn't.
Some of them have the bosses.
Yeah, some of them have the boss there already for the bolts. Some of them have the bosses that are already drilled, and some of them have the bosses that aren't drilled. Yours in the picture, you don't even have the bosses.
I mean the bosses.
Where the block is formed for the bolts.
Oh, where they form it to where you tap it.
Yeah, yours doesn't have that.
Yeah, no, it don't. Yeah, because when I was looking it up, it showed a bunch of people tapping them, and then they were buying the linked lifters and putting them in. And I was like, So then I looked up the price of them things. I was like, holy shit, it's like $600. Like,
I actually recommend that you go with the link bar lifters and don't drill it and tap it, because that's part of what makes the box break.
What, tapping it?
So the reason the 302 is weak, the roller block 302 is weak, they say is because of the cam journals being drilled and tapped right there.
Really?
Yep, that's one of the big reasons why they say they're weak. Because think, that's the thickest part of the block down the center of it right there.
Yeah.
And when you drill it and tap it, then it's not thick anymore. You're taking out, a quarter of that chunk. That section is an inch wide and about an inch thick. And then when you drill it and tap it, you're taking away half of that thickness. So that's where when you split a 302 block in half, you split it right down the cam journal, right through the center of those threads where they're threaded and tapped. And that's why when you were talking to me about it, I told you to get link bar lifters.
Yeah. The only thing is about them things, they're friggin' expensive as hell.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, $600 for comp cams at Comp Cams for a set of them. I was like, Jesus Christ. And that's and those just get put in.
Yeah, they just drop in.
I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. And those are rollers, right? Yeah. Because I don't know what to get for if I was to leave it flat tap it, I don't know what the hell kind of cam to get with all that shit.
Unless you have experience with flat tappet cams, don't fuck with them. Flat tappet cams are real picky. You have to break them in just right, and then you can't let them idle for the first 500 miles. If you pull up to a train, you need to shut the car off because you don't want to let it idle, because camshafts get their oil from crank sling. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the crank doesn't start slinging oil up to the camshaft until it gets around 1500 RPMs and up. And that's how come when you break in a flat tappet cam, they want you to hold it at 2500 RPMs for the first half hour. As soon as you fire it up, set the idle to 2500 and watch the clock for a half hour straight.
Jeez.
Shut it off, drain the oil out, put new oil in it, fire it up, take it for a drive. And don't let it idle for longer than 3 or 4 minutes for the first 500 miles, because cam manufacturers don't harden flat tappet cams anymore, because flat tappet cams you can kill a flat tappet cam if it's hardened or not hardened. So they found by you hardening it in the engine, it works better. So that's why I said, if you don't have, I have no problem running a flat tappet cam. Absolutely run a flat tappet cam, but you got to be real particular about how you break it in. And you could break it in perfectly correct, and then 10 minutes after you go down the street, still end up with a flat cam. They're that picky. As you're breaking it in, you could have one rocker arm just a hair too tight, and it'll kill the cam. Yeah. So that's why I said roller cam. Anybody that is not real experienced with breaking in a flat tappet cam, I tell them, go roller cam. Don't fuck with the flat tappet, because you don't have the experience. And I'm not trying to be dick. I'm saying you have to have experience with these things to mess with them. And Mr. Mach 1 will tell you. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I said, isn't a 351 block different from a 302 block? It's bigger. I mean, it's got, it's like you were saying, it's got the same timing cover, same water pump, but it's just the stroke that's different and it's bigger. It's got the same
It
size pistons.
it's 2 inches wider and an inch and a half taller.
And it's used, they have the same size pistons. Except
Same.
except they're,
Sorry.
except they're dished, right?
Yeah. So they're both 4-inch bore. They both use the same head gasket. They both use the same heads. You can put 351 Windsor heads on a 302, but you have to have head bolt shims. You can put 302 heads on a 351 Windsor, but you have to drill the head bolt holes out from 7/16 to 1/2 inch. Yes, the deck is taller, 3-inch mains, bigger rod journals. There's quite a bit. It is basically the same engine, but it's bigger.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm going roller cam. Now I got to figure out what I want to do for lifters. Now he's got me freaking. You got me scared now. I don't want to drill shit out and make it weak.
Here's the deal. You can rebuild lifters, and you can send them in and have them rebuilt. So I have no problem with buying used link bar hydraulic small block Ford lifters and send them in and having them rebuilt. Because you could probably get a set of used lifters for $150 and then send them in and have them rebuilt for $150. You don't even have, like, my buddy, he's got link bar solid lifters in his. He chewed up one of his rollers because he didn't have the rocker adjusted right. He sent the one lifter in. It was like $60 to have that one lifter rebuilt.
Where do you send them into?
If you get comp cam ones, you just send them into comp cams. And don't be afraid to look up Speedmaster 1979 and get some of their stuff. You could probably get a set of lifters from them pretty good price.
Speedmaster 1979.
Yep.
What do you mean? 79.
That's the name of the company.
Oh.
I'll send you a link. I'll look up a link of their lifters and I'll send you a link.
So the drilling and tapping issue is the same on both blocks.
Yes.
I love me some Smuggle biscuits.
What the hell is a Smuggle biscuit?
I don't know. Are you sure you want to know?
For some reason, I'm just thinking it's boobs.
Probably. Flat tappet women are not as good. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's got to be boobs.
Install a B31. Isn't that B31? Isn't that like a Anderson? Well, the cam I'm probably going to go with is probably a big dog cam. Which has got a 570 lift. I mean, ultimately, what I would like to do, I would like to do 200cc heads, but I don't have the money for that. So I'm going to use what I got, which is GT40s. So, like I said, I'll just send those out and have those ported and shit. I'm in no big hurry on those, and I know it's going to take a while. So,
I know a lot of people are. So here's the thing. Just for an example, your 347 with those 165 AFR heads is going to make a number, okay? But that 351 Windsor stock crank, stock rods, and you bought a 11-to-1 piston for it to go with the exact same set of heads, and you take that cam, that N41 cam out of your 302, that 350 or your 347, that 351 Windsor with stock crank and rods will make a lot more power than that 347 will. With the same cam, same heads.
With 165s you're talking about that I have.
Oh yeah. 351 Windsor is a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And you take those heads and that cam and put it on that 351 Windsor, and it'll make more power than the 347.
Well, I'm sure it will. But you know, the setup I'm going with now is going to make more power than that thing has at 347.
Gobs.
Yeah.
Gobs.
Yeah. It's like, you know, you got that guy, like I showed you, that dude saying it's not enough head for that engine. And it's like, it's what I got. You know, it's what I have. And it's not just going to be a standard GT40 head that's going on it. It's getting some work done to it, you know? So he was just being an ass, you know, saying I'm a know-it-all and this is what you should do. And it's like, you need 200cc head. I get it. I know that's what I was looking at to begin with, but then I just said, you know what? I don't want to spend any more money. I spent too much money. I want to use what I got for now. So, but yeah, you get
And
these
heads are easy to replace than pistons.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Once the engine's already built, if it's set up, then you get the car running, driving, you play with it being a stump puller, and then
Yeah.
hey, I got some money to spend.
Yeah,
I'm going to buy a new set of heads.
Yeah, later on down the road, you know.
Yep.
And usually, most of the time, that's all you got to do is just pull the old ones on, slap the new ones on, and you're good to go. So the move for a big 351 horsepower or horsepower for 351 or 302 is a flat tappet block using a roller cam and a link bar lifters. So he's saying it's good to do that rather than drill it to have more horsepower. It'll make it safer from cracking, probably.
It'll make, yeah, it just makes it better for cracking.
It's an Anderson cam with 540 with the TFS 190.
See what Frank Threestain said? In my orange car, it made 630 wheel horsepower with a stock bottom end 351 and an F cam with boost.
I have an F cam.
But F cam is nasty.
But it's the same as like an N41 almost.
I think they have different timing some events.
Well, the timing events at 50 on an N41, the intake is 1 to 41 and the exhaust is 45 to 5. So what would an F cam be? Because I know they don't. Let's see. I don't know. It's not showing it. like it does on this Anderson card.
Ford doesn't always release all their information.
Yeah, it's like Anderson. And this is what I do when people are, Anderson doesn't want to show their shit. There you go. There you go. Yeah, see, it says like duration at like 50 thousandths or whatever. Intake is 226, and so is the exhaust. Well, on an N41, it's 222 and 230.
Split. So there's some cam grinders out there. When you order a custom cam,
Yeah.
they tell you, like, they don't even give you a lift. They tell you it needs this spring pressure at this, and this is the lobe separation and angle. And that's all they tell you. They don't tell you anything else.
So
Some of those custom cams, they don't give you any specs.
he goes, so yes, boy, I want that flat tap at 302 block you have. And you can have a set of heads with it. Do you want the 351 heads? I got 4 sets to choose from. So I got 2, what are they? 0, I forget, 0C08 or whatever they are. I forgot. I got 2 sets of those. I got a set of E7s from a Mustang engine and a set of E7s from a 351. So you would just say stick the F cam in that 351 with the ported GT40s.
Me personally, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to save money, but I already know what else you already have. So with what you already have, fuck it. Shoot for the moon. Send it.
Do the 570 lift cam.
I mean, no. The F cam.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, absolutely. Put the okay. So with the stuff you have for the 351 Windsor, the 570 might be pushing your luck with the GT40 heads. But with all the stuff you have with the for the 351, if you use that and the F cam and the Porta GT40s, it's going to be nasty. And then later, when you get different heads, you can add the bigger 570 or even go even nastier and go 600 or 650 cam.
So with GT40 heads and a F cam, what would you estimate that at 12-to-1 compression?
On the 347 or on the other setup?
351, 393, whatever.
On the three, okay. So see, I didn't know that you told everybody that you're doing a 393 stroker.
Oh yeah, I did it on my video.
Okay. I guess I didn't catch that part. All right. So the 393 with the F cam and Porta GT40 heads. Shit. What kind of compression?
12-to-1, you said.
Yeah. So 12-to-1 on E85. I would say somewhere in the area of 575 to 6, guessing.
Horsepower?
Torque,
yeah.
Torque, and somewhere around 525 horse.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I told...
It's going to make a lot more torque. With the
right.
GT40 heads,
Yep.
It's going to make a lot more torque than it is horsepower. probably close to 100 over.
Because when I talked to Big Dogs, he said he punched it into the computer, everything. The Big Dog stage 3 cam, and like he Phytech, their single plane ported intake, ported GT40s, and like a Phytech on it. He actually punched in a computer and he came back with 500 flywheel torque and 465 flywheel horsepower.
With 12-to-1 compression and the big cam and the little heads.
I don't think we taught compression.
Okay. So I wonder if he also knew you're on cast iron heads. He also knew he also had told you about the 11-to-1 on the 347, having to back it down because of compression. So he might have been thinking that you were going to be running a lot less compression with those cast iron heads too. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
12-to-1 compression with those small heads is going to make monster amounts of torque.
Okay, so I'll just stick the F cam in it.
Have you already bought pistons for that?
Huh?
You haven't bought pistons. You're using the flat top pistons that you already have, right?
Yeah, with the reliefs.
Yep.
Fox.
That's going to be high compression.
30 over Fox pistons. And the 351, 385 crank with the 351 rods. The only thing is I gotta press out the 30 over pistons and press in. I'm assuming the 351s are pressed in. I don't know how to do
They are.
I don't know how to do any of that.
So, all right. 99% chance that they're going to break.
What?
Your pistons.
When you
try to press them out. Yep.
Really?
So, oh yeah. Absolutely. Especially since they're not forged pistons. Forged pistons, you have a little bit better chance of them sticking together when you go to press them out. When I had my engine shop, we had a hydraulic press and it had a gauge. When I was pressing off all the old pistons, some of those pistons would get up to 4 tons to start pressing them out of the rod.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Well, a little cast piston or Hypertechnic piston doesn't hold well with that. And then not only that, but on the piston, where the wrist pin goes through, on the piston, on the side of it, there's a little spot that is flat on each side of where the wrist pin goes through. And there's a built-up spot, and that's the strongest part of that piston on the sides. And if you don't have something made you're going to have to machine a bracket that sits like this. So when you set your piston and rod down on it, it'll set like that in the same spot on the piston next to the wrist pin where the strong part is, and then you'll take and push the wrist pin through the piston and the rod. And oh yeah, you'll be very careful and don't look at the piston either. When it starts pressing, you need to turn, because when they explode, they fucking explode. Parts go everywhere.
So I can't use them.
Oh yeah, you can use them, but most people use the factory forged pistons because chances are they're going to come off better. Then also, some people will take a torch and the rod and the small end of the rod where it goes onto the wrist pin. You heat it up with the torch, you get it kind of red hot, and then you're holding the big end of the rod. You get the small end of the rod kind of red hot. You shove it in the press and you hurry up, press it through. But sometimes that still doesn't work. There's a lot you could be dealing with here.
Hmm.
The rod heater works great for putting them on, but trying to take them off, it's there's a lot. Building an engine like this 390 Street Stroker, you could end up being very unhappy. Especially, okay, so on a stock 351 rod, you'll look and see. Oh man, I need to. All right, you know what? I'll be right back.
He does this shit. Oh, dude. This is like that time that he went into the garage about the offset A-arms. It was 2:00 in the morning, and he was convinced to show me that's bullshit. He goes, "Look, they're the same. Everyone's the same." He was on a flashlight at 2 a.m. on the floor of his garage showing me. They're gonna love this.
Oh.
These fucking guys. Oh, let's see. What did everybody say while we were in the middle of deep conversation? Brian Allen, if you're still here, what's up, man? Let's see. 351 block was the deal back in the 90s. Mav Stang, Fred, what's up? Gonna choke it down. I would guess 350 to 400 horsepower. That's not what Ford Blue Gauge said.
All right, so I'm probably making everybody's head spin. So, all right. So, here's the two strong parts of the piston that if you're going to push it off, you have to press on this. Okay. When they're pressed on, see if I can get it. This is the part that's actually pressed onto it. When you heat it up, when you're putting it together, you get this red hot, and then the rest of it just slides together. And then as that cools down, it clamps down onto the wrist pin.
Right.
Okay. So see how thin this is right here? And it's thick here where the wrist pin slides through. As you're pressing on it, you're pressing on it here, but it'll break right there. Right.
And
it'll break right here.
And that's on a floating wrist pin there, isn't it?
Oh, this one? No, this is a press fit big block Ford 460 Ford Hypertechnic piston. Okay. And then using the stock rod.
I thought I saw that move.
It does. It moves in the piston, but not in the rod. So it's like, you know how when you heat metal up, it expands?
Yeah.
So the wrist pin is bigger than the hole in the rod. So you heat the rod up until it turns red hot.
I'm saying that rod is moving. Is the wrist? No, okay, the wrist pin's moving. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I thought it was a floater.
Yeah, it's no, it's not a full floater. It's what they call a pressed rod wrist pin.
Right.
Okay.
No, I didn't see the wrist pin moving. I thought I just saw the rod moving on the wrist pin. So
Okay. So you heat the rod up till it's completely red hot, and I think they're probably 25 or 30 thousandths. The wrist pin's probably 25 or 30 thousandths bigger in most standard setups, and which is quite a bit. And then when you heat that rod up and you slide it through and it cools down, when you first put it together, it'll be locked straight up and down like this until it cools off, and then it'll just fall over, and then it'll move freely. Okay. And then the other thing you have to worry about when you use a stock rod and a stroker is if you see how where the rod bolt goes through. So you got the nut on the end, okay? And where the rod bolt goes through on a stock rod, it comes out really straight, okay? On some of the stroker setups, that part, if you're using a stock rod, will contact the lobe on your camshaft. So the aftermarket rods will have rod bolts instead of this stud going through,
yeah.
and this corner will be cut off at an angle. And that is an issue that we had with my uncle's 351 Windsor stroke to a 393. We got the damn thing all put together, was rotating it over to put the rods and pistons in. We got the first three in. We went to go put the fourth one in and rotated the motor, and it went clank. I was like, what the hell? I rotated it back, and it rotated and rotated and went clank. So I went inspecting and doing and trying to figure out what the hell was going on. And that section of the rod was connecting with the lobe on the cam. Because the cam lobe, and it does not all of them do it. You might build one with your cam and it won't do it, and I'll build one with my cam and it will do it because of the valve, the timing events, the lobe separation, just where how big the lift is. It might just be hanging down just far enough to catch that. Sorry if I'm making everybody's head spin.
Yeah, he's saying, Frank said a while back, I think GT40 Hens in a 393 is going to choke it down. He goes, I would guess 350 to 400 horsepower.
Yeah, but what compression was he making? Oh, 9-to-1 compression and 190 heads, 408. Yeah, but what? Okay, so he made 300. What was his torque? And 9-to-1 compression, 11R heads, 190s, 380 at the wheel. Yeah, that thing was 9-to-1 compression, 380 at the wheel. I'm talking. I've been talking flywheel. So at the flywheel, that thing's making. If that was an automatic, it made what, 450 at the flywheel, and then add 3 points to the compression, and I don't know what. Probably made monster torque being a 408.
What's up, Victor?
Frank Three Stains is right, though. I mean, it's all over the place. You can watch Engine Masters where they do a 408 stroker Windsor, and they use like 9.5-to-1 compression, a 195 head, and a 512 lift cam, flat tappet, and it made, what was it, 490 horse and 480 foot-pounds of torque at the flywheel. And then you could see them do 350 Chevy, and you know some of it's biased because they do the Ford Chevy against each other.
Yeah.
And then you can watch them do a 350 Chevy with 11-to-1 compression, a 580 lift cam, and it makes more power than the 408 stroker did. But they're not doing apples to apples shit either.
I think they were doing at one point. I think they had a 351 on there, and they put the shittiest ignition system on it just to see what it'd make. And they put like some just crap wires, crap coil, and it made I think it made 400 horsepower or something like that. But it did this weird freaking shake on the engine stand. When they were accelerating, it just made this weird shimmy. They're like, "Whoa, what was that?" And but they got it up there, and of course, I don't remember when I was just kind of watching it as I was doing stuff, and then they put a real ignition system on there. I don't remember what it made after that, but
So if you want to see something really neat to tell you how wild horsepower numbers can change, a stock 302 and a Fox body made 225 horse on the later 87 and 93s. Go to John Causey's website. And John Causey took a salvage yard short block out of a Fox body, put it on the dynos, put a custom ground cam in it. I think they said it was a 580 lift cam or something like that. And then they took their P58 John Causey heads, put on it with an Edelbrock intake, and they made over 520 horse. You can go to their website, John Causey, and he said that stock salvage yard short block 5.0 made over 520 horsepower for thousands of pulls. So you have to bounce all over the place, and John Causey's not biased. He'll flat tell you Ford is better than Chevy. He don't give a fuck what your opinion is. So he doesn't play that Ford and Chevy and Dodge shit. He just says, I stick with Ford. This is what it is. And if you look at his website, you'll see he's one of the baddest. Go to Roush Yates and look at their shit too. You can see they'll take a stock motor and they'll put a set of heads on it and a cam on a stock short block, and they'll make over 500 horse too. So everything is different. I mean, I'm making my own head spin. I'm sorry. Yeah, see, Frank Threestain says it was a 5-speed. I don't remember the torque. I think it was around 425. So it made 380 at the tires and 425 foot-pounds of torque on 9-to-1 compression. So add another 3 points to that compression, and you're going to jump up quite a bit. I'm sorry. I'm just bubbling.
That's all right. I'm gonna have to bring this to a close because I got to get ready to go to bed here. I love working Saturdays. I love working Saturdays. I love working Saturdays.
I'm on. I think this evening I'm already on 4 cups of coffee. I think. Are they complaining? No, they're not. Just
I have one cup every day in the morning. That's it.
Mine's still sitting here, and I'm still contemplating having another cup.
I've had to stop because of spaghetti.
You guys have a good night. I guess I don't want. I feel like for some reason I broke down your lives.
Oh no! I learned a bunch today. So he says that sucks, bro. Have a good night. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Somebody else can go live.
Yeah.
We're salty.
I don't know. He was in here, then he was out. But all right, that'll do it. Gotta go.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Later, all. Sorry. Gotta go to bed.